Have you noticed that some men don't try hard to get attention, yet people are naturally drawn to them, especially women? They don't chase validation. They don't walk into a room and feel like they're the most important person there. Strangely enough, the less they seem to try, the more attractive they become. This reminds me of the saying, less is more. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 subtle things that attractive men do without realizing it. And I call it subtle because most times these guys don't even know that they possess this quality. If you ask them, they will say, I'm just living my life. This is me on a regular day. Like, no forming. Not say that they form. These things seem very unintentional and yet makes you very attractive. And number 5 is probably the most overlooked one. Let's get into it. Number 1, they don't rush to fill every silence. An attractive man doesn't feel the need to keep talking just because there is silence. You know how you go on a date with that lady and maybe it's your first time hanging out and you really want to impress her because you consider her very special. And then you just like everything, you're bringing your A game, the conversation, your gestures, gesticulations, everything. You just want to really impress her because in your mind, almost this one a jackpot. All of that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to find you attractive. I know how they say that in the multitude of words, you might be found wanting. Sometimes attraction is just being comfortable, taking your time, embracing the silence. You listen, you think before responding. You don't feel pressure to entertain everyone around. So take your time, embrace the silence. Do not rush to say anything just because you need to say something. That is how you goof. And someone would say, why does this matter? Because when you're comfortable with silence, it often communicates that you're comfortable with yourself. You're not desperately searching for approval or trying to prove that you're an interesting person. And that calmness can make people more curious about you. Number 2, they don't try too hard to impress people. Here's something very interesting. A man who constantly talks about his money, connection, achievement, or how many women wants him can come across as less confident. You know that one friend that is always bragging? You hear him say something like, oh, this month alone, I don't line up 20 women. Wait till they talk. We sharp now, we full ground. You know, it's not like it's a bad thing, because some people will be like, yeah, but what's there? I'm just being myself. This is the guy. That's the way the guy is. He's an extrovert. He's a sanguine. He's this, he's that. Remember, we're talking about being attractive, because being attractive sometimes is not just random. There are people who are very intentional about embodying these characteristics, these traits that makes them very attractive. And honestly, one of them is not trying to impress people. Attractive men often let their actions speak for them. They don't need everyone in the room to know what they have accomplished. They can talk about their successes without turning the conversation into a performance. There's a difference between having something to prove and simply knowing your own value. Number 3, they give people their full attention, and this one is so attractive. You know, we're in the age of social media. You have your phone and every minute your phone is buzzing with notification from here, from this app, from that app. Let's say you're having a conversation with someone and you're just on your phone. Even though you're nodding your head to show the other person that you can hear them, but your eyes and your attention seem to be on your phone. Honestly, it's so unattractive. Especially for women. Women want you to give them attention. When they are talking to you, they want to give them, even me sometimes, me and my husband, we used to quarrel because of this thing. Because sometimes, like, I know he might be looking at something very important in his phone, but you know, I just want him to give me attention for that split second or that period of time. Like, I'm this kind of person that when I'm talking to you, I want you to look at me and then let me feel that you understand me. Like, your ability to be able to pay less attention to whatever it is that is taking your attention and just listen and make the person feel that you hear them and actually hear them, it's so attractive. And I'm telling you, women always value this, for real. Another typical example is that a man might be talking to a woman and then he's constantly looking around the room like there's something more interesting he wants to see. That in itself is showing disinterest. Not see what you want to tell me. If you're interested in conversing with someone, maybe let's say it's even an event and you're trying to network. So you walk up to this lady or this other guy and you're trying to, oh yeah, you're the one on that show, you're the one there, and like you're having a conversation, the person is already picking interest. And the next thing, your eyes are just wandering. You're just all over the place, 360 degrees. No, this one is not attractive at all. If you want to appear as an attractive man, as an attractive person, you should be able to pay attention. Be present, listen, remember little details. Actually respond to what the other person said, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Making someone feel seen and heard can create much stronger connection than trying to impress them. You don't always become memorable just because of what you say. Sometimes it's how you make those people feel while they are talking to you, especially us women. Number 4, they don't react to everything. Not every person who misunderstands you need a long explanation. Like they say, I am responsible for what I say, not what you understand. One thing I notice about very confident and attractive men is that they don't allow everything trigger their emotions. Like these are people who I can call very emotionally mature people, very emotionally aware. They know what they're doing. It's not like they don't have emotion or they don't show this emotion, but they have a way of just, quieting everything. There are times that you're required to show some sort of emotions, and there are times that it's actually an attractive gesture if you're able to hold it in. Let's say, for example, someone makes a rude comment about you. You don't immediately lose yourself, lose control, and then derail from your craft. Let's say you're a creative, probably you're on YouTube making videos, and then someone comes under your comment section and drops something very rude. Because some commenters can be like that. They're so insensitive. They don't know that it takes courage to come up and face the camera and say these things, or just be whatever you're being online. And then someone drops a very rude comment for you without regard whatsoever to how it's going to make you feel. So if you are an attractive person who is confident and know how to control your emotion, you're not going to stop doing your thing just because one person has dropped a very rude comment. Do you get the point? So an attractive person they always know how to control their emotions. You don't stop going to work just because there's this new colleague who is always on your neck, complaining about the way you dress, about the way you eat, the kind of food you eat, always in your matter. Another very fine trait about very attractive men is that they do not see any disagreements with them as an attack on their person. And there's something very powerful about a man who doesn't allow every situation, every Dick and Harry dictate his mood. And that leads me to number 5. I told you this is my most favorite point and is the most important of all. They are not constantly trying to be liked. Don't try to do everything you do just because you want people to like you. You see, when I first got married to my husband, there's something he does that every time I'll be complaining. Why is it that then we used to stay in this house where when you wash your clothes, you have to go downstairs and then put your clothes on the rope. You know how you put your clothes on the rope and peg them? What surprises me most of the time is that when he goes out to pack these clothes inside, he will stay there, fold the clothes, and then put it on his head and be coming upstairs. So I kept looking at this thing in my mind. I'm like, which kind one be this one? Which kind of village man be this one? No. So one day I was not like, why they do like this? Why they put cloth for your head now? He looked at me and now said, now what for you? What it concern me? I send them. So sometimes I'll just tease him and I'll be like, village man, see the kind of things they do. He will laugh. But I picked something from that. And this is something I respect about him. He's not the kind of person that is doing something because he wants you to like him. He's just being himself. Whatever it is, however you perceive him, he's just being himself. And to me, I find that very attractive. Some men walk into every interaction thinking, does she like me? Is she going to like this perfume I'm wearing? This my shirt self. This one where I be like this, she will like me so. Attractive men don't care. If someone doesn't like them, they move on. Instead of constantly trying to win someone's approval, they are genuinely being themselves and finding out whether they actually connect with that person. And I think this is a unique mindset to have. You're thinking, do we actually enjoy each other's company? And that shift can completely change the way you carry yourself. Because confidence is not believing that everyone must like you. It is knowing that they don't have to. So if you've been thinking that attractiveness is mainly about having the perfect face, body, clothes, money, think again. Those things can certainly influence first impressions, but lasting attraction is often much deeper. It's your confidence, your emotional control, your ability to listen, to comport yourself, and most importantly, how you make people feel when they are around you. The best part is that you don't have to become someone else to develop these qualities. You simply have to stop doing the things that constantly seek approval and start becoming more comfortable with who you are. My name is Wendyzeal. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not done so yet, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.